started trying to automate things a little bit there. So, like certain things like no-code jobs and no-code meetups, they've both got an RSS feed on them, and then that just feeds straight into the newsletter. Then I use so most of my apps are all built on Bubble. The No-Code Founders blog's built on Ghost, and then I've now got some automation set up. So I do interviews on the No-Code Founders blog with no-code startups. So I basically have an automation through Zapier. So I've got Zapier and Integromat now, both linking up a whole load of stuff. So I send out a form to people with the questions for the no-code startups, and then the answers come back. So it's an Airtable form, sorry. They come back into Airtable, and then a Zap pulls them through to Ghost.
Beautiful.
And then another Zap takes it to, I can't remember, it's quite a lot. Takes it to Buffer, and then I think it takes it to Slack as well, and to the newsletter. So like just small things like that save a whole lot of time, because like when you think about that, like just to publish that blog post, I've got to speak to someone, arrange it, then format all those questions into the blog, and then come up with social posts, share it in Slack, put it in the newsletter. So there's you do one thing, but it's actually multiple steps.
Yeah. No.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, anything like that can shave off some hours or minutes is I try and do as much of that as possible.
Nice. Have you ever heard of Trello?
Yeah, I used to use Trello. I've used it quite a lot. I guess I moved off it just because I didn't feel like it was task focused enough for. Like you can manage tasks on it, but
yeah, I actually just recently moved off Trello to, it's called ClickUp. Have you heard of ClickUp?
Yeah, I don't know what it is though.
Actually, ClickUp.com. I recommend it. I fell in love with it, and it's funny that you actually mentioned Michael from No Code Coffee. He's actually the co-founder of an e-commerce startup that we're working on. So I know him pretty well, yeah. So we've been working together for a little while now. But yeah, good stuff. So for you, I'm gonna ask you, but I feel like I already know the answer. I'm gonna ask you what your favorite no-code tool is, and is it Bubble?
Yeah. I mean, I've not tried them all, but from the ones I've tried, yeah. Bubble. Yeah, Bubble.
And do you have like a specific stack? I know people have been like talking about, is it WAS or?
Yeah.
What is it? WAS?
WAMs.
Yes.
It's like, yeah. So yeah, I think that's more a Webflow thing, because with Bubble, you don't really need to plug in as many things. You can, like most of the apps I've got built don't have anything else plugged into them other than Zapier. Whereas to get some of that functionality on Webflow, you need to connect to MemberStack and things. But yeah, like just Bubble and then Zapier and Buffer. I think that's basically it. Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. So for the last question, I want to ask you: what is something you want to leave with the listeners of No Code No Problem today?
You mean like a tip? Or
yeah, sure. Tips, tricks, anything you have. You can plug whatever you want to plug. This is you.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say, join the No Code Founders Slack for sure. nocodefounders.com.
I'm going to second that.
Yeah. I think one thing that I've learned from doing Slack is just the power of community. So, as I said at the beginning, I've had 10 years of failure, and then like 1 year, the past year has been like I've started to get some traction with things, and a lot of that was down to just connecting with people rather than trying to do things en masse. I took a more slow approach of talking to one person at a time, and I built in public as well most of these things, and a lot of people that I speak to, they don't want to share things because they're trying to like hold on to their idea and they think it might get stolen and things. But I've actually found that that's not really a problem for startups. That's a problem for big business. And when you just share things with the community, ask for advice, for feedback, they give you. And not only that, you build that initial user base that will talk about your product when you come to that launch stage. So, yes, so community is what it's all about.
Perfect. Well, thank you for coming on, JT. I really appreciate you, and I think that you have a unique perspective compared to what a lot of like podcasts and stuff in the no code space. They're interviewing like the founders of no code companies. So I think it's really valuable to have you on as a maker and kind of talk about your trials and tribulations. So
thank you. No, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Of course. Well, thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you next time on No Code, No Problem.